Something major happened with Solana, and this is the catalyst to push Solana to $500. And not only that, Solana is now replicating its chart pattern from 2020, which saw it go from $4 all the way to $200 in about a year. That was over a 4,000% gain. Now, before we talk about the path to $500, this is the catalyst for this next rally. Galaxy Digital announces stock tokenization on Solana. Is this the first of many? This is the first actual stock tokenization on the blockchain. Everything else you've seen have been derivatives. So Galaxy Digital, the crypto investment firm led by Mike Novogratz, has become the first publicly traded company to tokenize its SEC-registered equity directly on a major blockchain. Now the Galaxy Class A common shares can be tokenized and held on Solana, and this could be the start of other stocks following this move. Now you might be wondering, well, I thought other companies have done this. I thought we've seen this on other chains. Well, unlike earlier tokenized stock products, which often use synthetic models without issuer involvement, these shares are directly tokenized. Each transfer on-chain will update the official shareholder registry in real time, making these legally recognized Galaxy shares. This is the first instance of a NASDAQ-listed company being tokenized on a major public blockchain. Financial markets are undergoing a massive upgrade with Superstate, and that's the company that's kind of facilitating this whole ecosystem. And if you couple that with today's article on Solana from Cointelegraph, now Solana is labeled as the fastest growing blockchain. But let's talk about this price action here. Now, this is a Sol ETH chart. We're going to come to this in a second. I want to look at this broadening wedge that we saw last cycle. This is starting in August 2020, and we would end up no longer hitting this line in September of 2021. And like I said earlier, we went from $4.16 all the way up to $200. Now, this is a broadening megaphone pattern, you can also call it. And that's exactly what I'm seeing right here. Now, that was on a log chart, just so you can kind of, understand this chart a little bit better. It gets really, really tiny when you're looking at a regular chart. But you could see this broadening wedge play out on both charts. When you look at the log chart, you see this. When you go to the regular chart, you see this. Now, what is this telling us about an all-time high for Solana? I do think we're going to be coming to the top of this range. And if I had to guess a month, it's going to be a November or December retest. And so we're going to just kind of do the numbers for the end of November, beginning of December. If it were to hit this range, right now, you're looking at a pretty significant climb. Going to be close to a $100 pump. You're looking at 386 Solana. Now, the reason I think this isn't going to top out at 400, rather say closer to 500, is if you look at the last time we had this broadening wedge pattern, this megaphone pattern, we ended up going a little bit higher, but we had to consolidate this daily chart and, then retest it and then put in that final rally top. You can see here, we went from 200 to 260. That's a 30% pump. And so I would say you could expect potentially a 30% pump, maybe 25. If we come in at that tail end of November, go up 25%, you'll see this puts us within striking range of $500. Now, that's not the only chart I want to share with you here. I also have the Solana ETH chart. Now, we pointed out this falling wedge on Solana priced in ETH. This is why I think we're going to see a reversal of the gains that ETH has been experiencing. It is now time for Solana to experience. A falling wedge is going to be a bullish pattern. Typically, it will break to the upside. Not every time, but roughly 68% of the time, you can expect a pump rather than a dump. Now, this is going to reflect that the sellers, they're starting to lose momentum. The buyers, they're starting to move in to slow down the fall. Now, we go back to the Sol ETH chart. You're going to notice a parallel channel. And this is really one of the things that makes me super bullish on Solana. I think Solana on the daily, see it pretty well on the weekly is is going to be blasting off against Ethereum. This is Solana losing to Ethereum. This is going all the way back to April 2025. But I think we found a bottom in August, and now I expect Solana to gain against Ethereum. And if you zoom in, you'll see that, not only did we test this and bounce, we wicked in a little higher this week. You can see we actually just put in a new high here, a local high yesterday. And this is today's daily candle, so a lot of eyes are going to be on this chart. So that's my Solana breakdown. Quick price action to $500 in Q4 I think is very, very possible. So do not be sleeping on Solana. We're seeing a lot of Solana chatter happening. We're seeing institutional demand, and this stock issuance is going to be major. And if you want to see some Solana DeFi projects, Go to DeFi Llama. They've changed how this website works. You go to metrics, and then under metrics, you can click on chains. Scroll down, you'll see Solana, and then you'll see a lot of the projects building on Solana. We like the ones that have revenue. We like the ones that make fees, and I like the ones with the really high TVL. So maybe we'll do a video on Solana DeFi. Let us know down below if you want us to cover the altcoins in Solana. Right now, I wouldn't be fading Solana, especially against ETH. I'm DZ. I'll see you in your soul, not like that, at the top. Or maybe like that. I don't want to see you in hell.